Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We will get started in 2 minutes. Thank you all for coming in. We're excited to show you all of this live. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We're going to get started in a minute. Thank you all for being here with us today. All right, let's get started. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our summer 2024 product tour. My name is Drina Ventura, and I am your host for today's product tour. You're in for a treat. Here's a rundown on what we will cover today. A little intro about OpenAsset and how we bring value to AEC firms. We're going to do a live demo of our platform. And we're going to go over recent launches so far and upcoming innovations that we're working on. We will also make sure to leave some time for Q&A. And for those of you that are not familiar with OpenAsset, we work with nearly 1,000 AEC firms across the globe, helping them centralize their digital assets, saving them 30% of their time each week searching for images. And with OpenAsset, our clients are able to build and create proposals, CVs, presentations 31% faster, and ultimately helping our clients win more business. And since OpenAsset is exclusively for AEC, our platform works the way you work, and integrating technology built for AEC like Uninet, Deltek, Procore, InDesign, and more. And one of the things that I'm most proud of, and really something that I rave about every time, is our excellent customer support team. And it shows with 99% of our customers renewing year after year. Now, what would a live product tour be without a disclaimer? We're showing you the platform live, and some are still in R&D, which means that we are currently in testing phase. So note that some of our timelines are subject to change. And as I said earlier, going through the agenda, please ask your questions throughout the webinar. We love questions. Use the Q&A icon, and then we will be answering them live at the end. So again, my name is Drina Ventura, Director of Product Marketing here, and your host for today's product tour. And joining me today, we have Hillary Zonlak, who is our Director of Product. And I'm so excited she's here. She's truly my partner in crime, and she's been instrumental in optimizing and building our products that you will see today from the ground up, along with our engineering team. I'm also delighted that our colleague, George Baines, is back at it again in this product tour with us. Our VP of Customer Success and Growth, with nearly 15 plus years of customer relationship and project management experience. George has been with OpenAsset for 6 years now, leading onboarding and support teams before becoming VP of Customer Success and Growth in 2022. His focus remains on ensuring consistent client satisfaction, product adoption, and long-term value recognition. Now, Let's not steal his thunder. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to George to dive into all things OpenAsset. George, over to you.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Dorina. I really enjoy putting this on with you every time, so I'm very excited for this event and specifically to lead my portion of today's session, highlighting a number of ways that our clients today use OpenAsset to bring more efficiency to their workflows. Before I kick it over to you and Hillary to discuss our recent product releases and things coming this year. Very excited about those upcoming roadmap items and the on-air live release or live sneak peek here into some new AI functionality that we're bringing to the table. So for those, or as Trina said, for those that don't know me, my name is George Baines. I've been here for 6 years, always in customer-facing roles, making sure that our customer support team is maintaining that high bar that we've set for ourselves and our clients expect, like Trina mentioned, working with our onboarding and support teams to make sure that we are moving clients forward in their implementation and kind of framework and structure of OpenAsset, as well as our CSMs to make sure that we are supporting our clients with guidance on best practices for maximizing the value. One of the key things that makes OpenAsset unique is our vertical focus on the AEC industry. We've been serving AEC firms for 20 plus years and have a relentless focus on AEC and providing solutions to AEC marketers. We understand the challenges that AEC firms are facing and the importance of connecting project and employee experience data with the marketing quality images that help sell your experience, and we're uniquely positioned to continue to build solutions that improve the way our clients work. With out-of-the-box integrations with key AEC technologies like Uninet, Deltek, Vision, and Vantage Point, Procore, as well as partner-built integrations with AEC 360, Flow 10, KA Synthesis, CMAP, and more. We are built for AEC firms and work seamlessly with the technology that AEC firms are already using. We also understand that the hallmark of any good DAM is the ability to store and organize digital assets to make them easier to find. But we go beyond that value of storing and organizing to really enable clients to create marketing materials like project sheets, tailored employee resumes, making sure that you're able to share that experience out into the world to promote your brand and to win new business. We've launched a few new features that we'll cover today. Portals for sharing content with partner firms, PR firms, and others to, again, help promote yourself. But also our WordPress plugin, which we'll talk a little bit about to make sure that we are covering how our WordPress connector enables you to seamlessly connect project data, employee data, and images out of OpenAsset into your WordPress site. So excited to really kind of cover how our clients are using OpenAsset to reach better business outcomes. And with that in mind, one of the things that I get really excited about in my time here, I've worked with hundreds of our clients personally, one-on-one, through onboarding and implementation, through speaker sessions. Last September, I had the honor of speaking with RJC Engineers, our good friend Tanya Kennedy over there. Really enjoyed the time spent with her, where we're able to focus in our speaker session on how they've leveraged OpenAsset to not just improve the workflows for finding content, but they've used OpenAsset to scale as they've gone through acquisitions. They've been able to drive down the time spent creating proposals and managing the website. That's just one client. So as I get ready to jump into the product core part of this, where I'm walking through a few workflows that our clients leverage in OpenAsset, I think it's worth calling out that our clients range from 10 employees to 10,000 employees. And no matter the size, we're here to help support you. And we know that there is real value in being able to find content, but also turn finding content into creating marketing ready resources and collateral that, again, help make your brand stay consistent out there in the marketplace, but also help you win more business. I'm going to jump out of here and go right into my demo system. So let me expand this here. So this is my OpenAsset instance. For those that haven't seen OpenAsset before, or those that have, when you land in your project portfolio, on the left-hand side here, you see all of the data associated with projects. Let me quickly clear my selection. Sorry about that. All of this data is curated by your team and is put here in conjunction with our team. We offer import services. We're able to bulk import data associated with projects, or this can be brought in through integrations with, again, Deltek, Unit, AEC 360, CMAP, Flow10, and really enable our clients to curate the taxonomy that exists here for how you search for and find content today, making this a natural transition from, let's say, a folder structure into OpenAsset. We're really helping you find content based on the bids you're working on. So at the project level, you can quickly narrow down based on country, service provided, the building type, the sustainability awards, things like that to help make sure that you're finding what's relevant for the projects you're working on. Let's just say I'm looking for projects where we've done the architecture service. I click into this project, you'll see not only are you able to quickly search and find projects based on those keywords that are brought in to OpenAsset, but you're also able to bring storytelling data into OpenAsset to help to really sell the value of your firm's experience in working on the projects. This data is, again, collected and curated here by your team. We are able to help bring this content in and information into OpenAsset, but this is information that most of our clients already have before coming into OpenAsset, or they're working on building it up as they implement and adopt OpenAsset. You have storytelling information like project descriptions, the client for the project, start date, completion date, the area. Some of these, maybe for some projects you have additional information like the architect, the general contractor, or the contact for that project. That information you can populate and use, curating these custom fields based on the information that you have and is relevant to your bids and proposals. As our clients are beginning to get this information to OpenAsset, one of the things I think about is, okay, how do I think about what's useful here? What is the best place to start? One of the things that we'll cover in a few minutes here is the ability to launch templates out of OpenAsset, the ability to create an InDesign, Word, PowerPoint document that you can quickly get in front of a partner, get in front of a prospect of yours, make sure that you're presenting your best work. And as you do that, project descriptions play a key role in telling the story of how your firm works and the level of effort that's gone into projects and planning. One of the things that we launched this past year is a feature called Content Assist. Content Assist is an AI enabled feature that is contained completely within your OpenAsset instance and our OpenAsset infrastructure. What that means is by clicking this Generate AI Description button, I'm able to quickly say, okay, I would like a short, medium, or long description for this project. What this feature does is it looks at the data stored against the projects, who the architect was, the general contractor. It looks at the keywords, including sustainability and other things, and it will serve up a description based on that project-related information. That does not go out to ChatGPT. So for clients, prospects, anybody that's worried about putting your proprietary information about your project experience out into ChatGPT, where it then goes into public domain, this contains that into a very secure environment. And you'll see here, it will quickly write me a short, medium, or a long description that if I already have a project description, I could copy this over, replace the existing description. I could copy portions of it that I want to include and use. Or let's say using our asset metrics dashboard that's available to admins, you've been able to identify that there are gaps in project descriptions across your entire portfolio. You can quickly go to those projects that don't have a description, use this feature to create them, and then craft them, tailor them, and make sure that they are relevant and in your voice. We certainly think that with the proliferation of AI tools out there, it's always important to make sure that your voice still comes through in the content you're creating. So we would recommend generate this description, tweak it as needed, drop it in the description, save that in OpenAsset, and you can quickly update the data there to tell your story. As you look at the project profile here, you can see again, field, keyword information. You can also see the top images associated with this project. So I can quickly click into all files and see the files here. But staying on the project level, if you scroll down, you're able to drop the project location on a map. So at a broader scale, you can see all the projects that you have worked on in a geographic region. But importantly, we also allow you to connect employees that have worked on a project to the project. This is really relevant when you're thinking about your overall proposal workflows, getting content ready to go and submit for a proposal or a bid. That includes not just the projects and their data, but also the employees and the data that's relevant for their experience with your firm, working on other projects as well. So on the employee level, you can see we have curated different information here. This is based on, again, what you have available to you. So you can curate the data points that are captured, education, accreditations, job title, the start date. But the real meat of the employee module is where you're able to connect an employee to the project that they've worked on. You can quickly connect Andres here to the roles that he's played in completing these projects. And this is very relevant because a lot of our clients, as they come on to OpenAsset, or as we're helping them solve the challenges that they face in getting content and marketing materials out the door, is that employee experience is time and time again stored in one Word document that floats around. Maybe it was healthcare focused, and it doesn't include someone's education experience. Maybe it includes all experience, and every time you want something different, you have to go and edit that master document, create a new version, but wait, they worked on another project. We need to make sure that's added. That is not an effective way for managing employee resumes and employee data. And our employee module helps solve that. So based on Andres here and the projects that he is connected to, you can quickly prepare to launch a document. Let me go back to Andres. You can quickly, within OpenAsset, go to launch a resume where you can narrow down which projects are relevant for the bid you're working on. So let's say we want to add a column or the ability to sort by the service being provided. Maybe also we want to make sure that we're highlighting lead projects. I can do that. Come back over here. And now you can quickly see I want architecture projects. These are the ones that that he has experience on. I can also say, oh, you know what? Lead platinum is really what we're going for. Let's just remove these two. So quickly, I've been able to generate a document that captures Andres and his 3 projects that are really relevant to the experience that we're trying to go sell as we submit this proposal. If I launch this document, I have it open here already. Here you can see I already have the information launched out with Andres's background, various pieces of information on here that highlights Andres and his experience working on these projects. This is our example template. This template is something that your team could submit to ours with your formatting, your color schemes, your layout, all of your data. So that way we could streamline the resume creation workflow for you. As I come back over to here, and we look at the project level information here. So similar to what we just demonstrated in the employee module workflow of tailoring a resume based on Andres's experience, we can do the same thing at the project level. So being able to quickly click launch this project sheet, it's going to generate this document. I've already populated one here. And as this loads, you can see I open the plugin and maybe I can launch a new one. Here you'll see these images popping up. And this is based on the data, again, that we have in OpenAsset for this project, connecting that storytelling information that you have. Again, we can use our content assist feature for creating this. We're really leveraging the storytelling information in OpenAsset and the high quality images to create that document. Get it marketing ready materials. You can do this at scale, launching documents very quickly, selecting multiple projects at a time to get them out the door. Let's say you have this image here and actually aren't sure if this is the best one, or you want to make sure that you have the right access rights. You can click on that image, open it up in OpenAsset, and it's going to take you right to that file. Sure enough, we have information here indicating this is okay for external use and it's a hero image. So this is a fine image to share. The other thing that's relevant is, let's say you actually decide you want a different image for this project. So if I come back to this project, look at all the files. Let's say we're really trying to highlight our exterior imagery here too. So I just want to grab, say, this file, maybe this other lobby image. I'm going to grab these two and pull them right out of OpenAsset and into this InDesign doc. So I'm going to pop over here. And just by holding down the Option or Alt key, you can click into the image frame and place those images. So dropping these images into this document, they are linked to OpenAsset. What that means is you can package this file, or you can take this document, share it out with your teammates. You don't have to worry about broken server links because they may not have access to a folder on your server. No, these images are linked back to OpenAsset's cloud server, so they are readily available for anybody that has the OpenAsset InDesign plugin installed, and definitely, removes that headache of broken image links that many firms face when trying to operate with InDesign files that are linked to a network drive. Within the system here, as we come back to thinking about using the content here, we've just walked through an employee resume creation. We've walked through project sheet creation in the InDesign plugin. Two new features that I think are worth highlighting quickly here are portals and our WordPress connector. So for the longest time, OpenAsset has had the ability to come in, you identify the files that you want to share, you move them into an album, you then share a link to that album out to colleagues internally, external partners. When they click that link, the images get downloaded to their instance, and or to their computers. It is only the images. We are project-based, and we realize that our clients are looking for a solution to help promote the project work that they are doing in a way that establishes these are the projects, this is relevant information that is worth sharing, and here are some great high-quality images. So what we've built is something called portals. By quickly selecting a number of images within a project or across multiple projects, let's say I also know that I would like to include some images from our Copperlight apartment project. And Hotel. These are all projects that are architecture services in the US that we've done. I can select these images and quickly click Create a Portal. There's a little welcome message here for those that haven't used portals before. I like getting the notification of how to use them every once in a while, so I leave this here. I'm going to click Next. So you can add these images to an existing portal, or you can create a new portal. Once you do that, you can opt to use use the last few settings or create new settings. When you do this, you're going through and you're selecting the data that you would like to include in the portal. That can be project level information, the project description, the status, the start date. As we look at the keywords, right? What sector, what is the sustainability of this project? You can bring in file level fields. So you're highlighting the rank, the access level, created date of the image, photographer, copyright holder, caption. You can bring this information in to help tell the story that you want to tell using the data that you have in OpenAsset. As I click through these things, you can choose how long you want this to stay active. You can be reminded, and you can control the image size in which the recipients are able to download those files. You can also make it so they can't download the files. They'll be able to see them, they won't be able to download. So from here, with next, you get to name the portal, add some note or context. You can update the prefix and file names. You can add collaborators. When you get to, let's just do this, portal, next. Once you're here, you can rename, you can edit the file information here or reorder them. So I'll show you in a minute in an existing portal that I have how I've leveraged that, but then I click publish. So I have this information. It's going to say, hey, I'm creating a portal for you. I can open that in a new tab. I'm going to go to an existing portal instead. So when we talk to our clients, we've heard the story of, hey, I am trying to get this project information out to our PR firm. We want to, really make sure that we're highlighting not just the images, but relevant information about how we worked on the project, all of that. So if I look at the press release, this is just how we named it, press release portal for 1201 CROA, be able to click into this. And this is what what the recipient would see. So the description that I said on it, images and project info for 1201 CROA press release. I have these top quality images. And by clicking here on this project name and link, you see all of the project related information that I've associated with this portal when creating it show up here. If you have other fields like, so you have a website description, you have a press description, you have a marketing description, you can choose what descriptions you're looking to share to really highlight that level of experience and the information related to the project and not just the images. And I think that's by far and away, like it's a drastic improvement on the old workflow and making sure that we have the ability to highlight project experience out there when sharing content with other firms. In this example, again, that's for a press release. Let's say I'm trying to highlight all of the US-based projects where our service was architecture as we are quickly in like early stages of working on a proposal. We're trying to collaborate with, maybe the primary contractor or the primary firm as you're doing secondary, services for the project. You still want to highlight the experience that's relevant, so that way you can be included in the bid that they're submitting. So being able to quickly say, look, here's our US-based architecture projects. You throw in some imagery. You can also click into each level of, into each project to again, highlight how you worked on that project, the sector, the service, whatever data you want to capture, you're able to quickly populate that into this portal to share externally. If it's a partner at a meeting and they're trying to quickly demonstrate, to someone that they're sitting there talking to, you can share a portal link with them and they can pull it up and have all this right there on their phone. It has a good user interface for mobile. Also, again, share it with PR firms, whatever that might be. As for our WordPress plugin, I know that I don't have an active WordPress environment to cover, but our WordPress plugin, the connector for OpenAsset plugin for WordPress, we built it to allow our clients to surface the project and employee imagery and information out of OpenAsset into the WordPress. We've built a number of templates that are available to clients, and with a proper web developer, or the support of a proper web developer, be able to kind of quickly update the branding, make sure that it matches your look and feel that you want of your website. Really, it streamlines, again, the sourcing, the single source of truth of your imagery and data to make sure that your branding is consistent and you are on track to represent yourself as you would expect within your website. That is it for my portion of the product tour today. I want to make sure I leave enough time for Hillary to get through some of her pieces. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing and kick over to Dorina, who's going to cover off the product releases that we've launched just recently.
Awesome. Thank you, George, for showing us how our clients are getting value out of OpenAsset with helping them store, search, create, and share with our platform. Now, let's talk about our recent launches. And when I say recent, we just launched these this month. So as our clients, you might have gotten a lot of communication to talk about this, but our WordPress plugin, our clients can now use this out-of-the-box plugin to connect OpenAsset to their WordPress instance, making it easier to publish the latest projects and employee profiles while making sure that it is consistent. And us marketers know that consistency is key. This also helps empower marketers to update content without needing developers. I repeat, without needing developers. So now you can plug in, sync, and publish, making it easy to keep your website up to date. The next one that we launched also this month is Portals. George just showed you step by step, but this is a new way of sharing assets with clients, partners, or your media partners as well. But this was just announced about 2 weeks ago, and we are seeing a lot of clients using it and loving it. This makes it easy to share assets with relevant and contextual information about the projects and images, but this also makes sure that you can customize assets and have the control on your side to give that allotted time that they would have access to it. And it's dynamic, so you can make sure that what you're sharing is relevant at all times. Collaboration with your team members, clients, and media partners just got easier. So now, the moment that you've all been waiting for, you've seen this in the comms, you might have seen this in LinkedIn. We're really excited to unveil this new launch that is happening. Hillary, let's do this and show the world what we've been working on.
Hey guys, if we haven't met before, I'm Hillary. I am the Director of Product here at OpenAsset. I have over 10 years of product management experience, and a lot of what I spend my time doing is chatting with y'all, seeing what is working for you in OpenAsset, but actually more importantly, what's not working for you. And then taking that back to my team, figuring out how we can make this a better experience, working with our wonderful designers and our engineering team to get you exactly what you need to make your lives so much easier. So, all right, as Dorina said, moment you've all been waiting for. If I can get everyone to do a little bit of a drum roll on their own desks, y'all, we are so excited to give you a sneak peek of a feature that is launching imminently. So very, very soon, you will have a AI facial recognition. Thank you for the round of applause. AI facial recognition for our employee module within OpenAsset. So what I'd like to do is give you a super quick demo so you can actually see this in action. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my tabs here. And we're going to move on to talk about AI facial recognition. So what is AI facial recognition? Well, probably exactly as you figured out, the AI is going to look through your images within OpenAsset, and it's going to find those images that have people in them. It's going to look at those faces and going to say, ah, these people look like they're all the same person. And it's going to give you groups of faces. And then you just have to figure out what you want to do with those groups of faces. Why is this important and how is this going to help you? Well, this is going to save you so much time when you're managing those employees within your employee module. You don't have to tag this anymore. You don't have to associate them to a profile. You don't have to use a keyword or a field or an image name. Thing of the past, the AI is going to do this automatically for you. Why is even that important? Why would you want to do this within your system? Well, guys, what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to quickly find any image of an employee that you have in OpenAsset. Maybe you're working on a proposal or a deliverable and you really want the best image showing your favorite architect at work. Just search their name, and now you found every single image, and you can pick the best one for what you're doing. This is also going to be really helpful for some of these compliance things that we know y'all have to deal with. So for instance, if someone leaves the firm and says, hey, I don't want you to have my images on your website anymore, you'll be able to quickly find them and know and have the confidence that you've found every single image of that person, and then be able to action them appropriately. So let's go ahead and do a really quick demo to show you how this works. With the AI facial recognition feature, you will have a lovely screen that looks like this with 3 different tabs on the top: unidentified, identified, and don't identify. So let's start with our identified tab. So as I mentioned, the AI is finding all these faces and grouping them together. If you already have a primary photo set on your employee profile, then it already has a name. It doesn't need you to manually label them. It'll just say, excellent. These are all pictures of Catherine Glover. She's an employee. It will do that automatically for you. If you have done a different system, for instance, keywords, fields, that's absolutely something that our team can help you with and have that done automatically when you onboard to the AI facial recognition feature. So once you have some people identified, you will of course still have people, some groups of faces that don't have a name yet. So as we can see, we have our lovely architect here. I believe this is Danny Trejo. Did you know he was an architect? I didn't. He is now. So we have all of these pictures of Danny within our system. The AI knows his face, but it doesn't know his name. You'll be able to do a couple different things here. We know it's Danny, and we're going to want to identify Danny. So we can press this identify button here, and we'll be given the option of, is Danny an employee that has an employee profile or not? If you want him to have an employee profile, go ahead and associate that. You're all good there. But say you don't want Danny to have an employee profile. Maybe this isn't actually a fake architect. Maybe this is actually Danny Trejo showed up to your groundbreaking. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Of course you want to have a record of that. And of course you want to be able to find all the pictures. But Danny doesn't need an employee profile. He's not really an architect. So you can tell the system, hey, we want this person to just be identifiable within our system. You can also do this, of course, not just with celebrities, but if your founder, for instance, comes to a lot of events but doesn't have an employee profile, you're still able to have them within your system. Another really helpful feature here is if we go into, let's say, this group shot over here. When you're looking at this picture, it isn't immediately clear which face the AI is looking at. So we have these lovely bounding boxes. So you can say, perfect, this guy here, I know his name, and I'm going to assign a name to that group of faces. The last thing I want to mention here around what you can do in this page is our feature around don't identify. So why would you want to do this? Why would you want to anonymize this person and remove their identification? Of course, there are a ton of reasons, but a good example here is, for instance, if you have a lot of pictures from events, maybe you've had the company summer party, everyone's brought their family, they had a great time, you've uploaded all those images, but then there may be pictures of everyone's kids, which is great, but you may not want to have that data within your system. You may want to anonymize it, and so then the AI is no longer identifying the kids. So I am sure a lot of the questions that are coming through right now are asking me about the data protection and what is going on with our data here. So to be very clear here, you are in complete control. So this is a feature that is going to come with our employee module, but it is opt-in. It is not automatically turned on. You have to say, I want this feature. I want the AI to look at my faces. The AI is also not trained on your data. It is using a pre-trained model. So again, I will say it is not trained on your data. As George was saying earlier when he was showing you our content assist, it is all kept within the OpenAsset infrastructure. So no worries about your data escaping anywhere. It's all very secure. If you have any further questions on this, we do have information in our Trust Center, which is available on openasset.com, that provides a lot of information about our security posture, AI philosophy, and anything else you may have questions on. So go ahead and check that out if you have further questions. So again, this is our AI facial recognition feature. This is something that we are rolling out imminently. So keep an eye on your inbox, on any of your in-app communications to learn more about when this is coming out. So keeping with our AI theme, I'd like to move on to another feature that we're working on that is a bit further down the line. So very much still in active development. It is not coming imminently. We are aiming for within the year, so 2024, potentially even early 2025. But it is, of course, going to be another AI feature. So I'm excited to share with you a prototype of our AI visual search. So let's just go ahead and let's do a quick demo before I tell you all the details. So if I just search for stairs within the system, a bit slow, it is a prototype. I get all these pictures of stairs. Cool, you're not impressed. You have keywords in your system. What does this mean? If I go into this image, y'all, there are no keywords attached, none. The AI is able to identify the stairs without having any keywords. How amazing is that? What this essentially is, you can think about it as Google image search, but for the images that are within your open asset. So anything that is visually represented in the image, you can find. A lot of the file level keywords that our clients tag their files with are things like that. So maybe it's interior, exterior, maybe it's building materials, red brick versus yellow brick versus concrete, maybe building elements like stairs or the lobby or an atrium. And even getting into a bit more of these technical phrases, things to do with construction, girders, or cranes. The AI is going to do all of this for you. The AI has been trained on over 400 million images. We are using a pre-trained model from our friends at OpenAI. So of course you will know those are the creators of ChatGPT. And so again, just like our AI facial recognition, the AI is not being trained on your data. So again, very, very, very secure here. So what does this mean for you that now you have AI being able to just automatically search for everything for you? Well, as I'm sure you've figured out looking at my example, file level keywords, you don't need them anymore. You don't need them. The AI is going to do that for you. This means way less tagging. When you're uploading something, save so much time. When you're managing your tags, you don't have to worry about it anymore. The AI is going to do all of it for you. So not just from a management side, this is also really helpful from a searching side. So to go with the example that I just showed you, stairs. Maybe stairs was what was in your taxonomy. But then someone else comes in and searches for staircase. That's not going to show up with your current keywords because you're stuck with whatever the person who set up the taxonomy has. With AI visual search, you can search for stairs, stairway, stairwell, whatever you want, it's all going to show up. So you're no longer kind of beholden to this taxonomy of what one person thought is what the organization needed. So beyond just searching for these kind of keyword level, we're going to take it even a step further. You can use natural language and you can get as specific as you want. And y'all, you can even have typos, right? I don't type perfectly. You can have typos. So let's try crane on construction site. That was, of course, an intentional typo. I never have typos when I type. There we go. Ton of cranes. We have all these cranes that I can use in whatever proposal I want. Let's see what else we might want. Drina, what else should I search for here?
Okay, what about plants in a glass atrium?
Fantastic. Plants in a, oh, we'll leave that typo. Plants in a glass atrium, something very different, a different vibe. And here we go. We have a ton of plants. We have a glass atrium. Fantastic. All right, Drina, you and I are working on a project together, and I have like a really specific vision for what I want my cover of my proposal to look like. What is that vision? What is my vision?
I think you'd want construction at sunset.
At sunset. Y'all, I love a sunset photo. That's what my Instagram is full of, just sunsets. And now I can have even more. I can have even more construction at sunset. Super, super exciting. And to take it even a step further, besides using natural language and getting really specific, the AI is good enough to even recognize concepts. So if I search for instance, diversity in the workplace, maybe I'm working on some internal communications. This is something I really want to focus on. I think any of these images here would be great to showcase for diversity in the workplace. So now you've seen this is sort of a Google image search of your images, but I'm not just going to leave you with that. We wouldn't be OpenAsset if we didn't try to beat Google, right? So when we're looking at our amazing diversity in the workplace images, what I can't tell from what's visually represented in these images, is this our Chicago office or our Denver office? Is this our team for healthcare or education? And those would probably be your project keywords, right? So you're going to be able to take our AI visual search and layer that on top of any other kind of searches you might want to do in your system. So project level keywords, other file keywords, or metadata, anything you want to create a very powerful search and have it exactly the images that you want to find. So again, this is something that is very much currently in development, and we will be looking to launch this sometime in 2024 or early 2025. So now I'm going to go ahead and go back to my PowerPoint over here, and we're going to talk about another feature that is also on a similar timeline. So again, end of this year, early next year, and that is our text library. This is something that I am personally working on, so super excited. So before we get into the text library, let me just set the scene for some of the conversations that I've had with our clients. They've come to me and they've said, Hillary, having OpenAsset is amazing because I'm working on a proposal and I can get all of my images, all of my project information, and all my employee information. I can generate it into templates and I'm off to the races, except for some other things that I want to write down. I have our About Us text, and I think that's actually in an InDesign file somewhere. And then I have a service level description. But Hillary, I think Joe has it, and it's on Joe's desktop. And Joe's on vacation. So does anyone know where that is? Does anyone know where that text that we use all the time in proposals to win business? Does anyone know where it is? It's all over, and I can't find it. Hillary, why isn't this an open asset? It's coming to OpenAsset, guys. Our text library, we're going to do exactly what we did for images, for that project and employee information, and we're going to do the same thing for text. You'll be able to centralize and organizing any marketing, any proposal text, and have that within OpenAsset. So I alluded to a couple examples there of what you might want to keep in your text library. The limit is your imagination. You can literally keep whatever you want in here. But some really good examples that some of our clients have said would be really helpful are About Us descriptions, potentially service descriptions, or if you have text about sustainability or diversity. You could also use this for things that are more specific, maybe question and answer pairings or text that you used on one proposal. And then maybe you want to use it potentially again a few years down the line. You'll, of course, have a robust search. You'll be able to search by the title of the text assets and any sort of words or phrases within the body of the text. So searching will be super easy. And once the information is within the text library, you also want to understand the context. You'll be able to see, for instance, who last updated the context or the text and when it was last updated. So this can be really important if you're looking at a piece of information and it was last updated in 2004, maybe you should check and see if that is the latest piece of information. If it is, great. But if it hasn't been updated since 2004, you can probably say, I should probably see if this is the correct one. So you'll be able to have all of that within OpenAsset and completely customized to how you do business. You'll also be able to add metadata fields to, for instance, provide instructions on, hey, just be sure to replace the client name in this text or whatever you want. As it's an open asset, it will have very robust permissions. You'll be able to say this group has view access, this group has edit access, and you'll be able to move away from that text chaos and now have everything that you need within OpenAsset. So I am sure that the questions that I'm getting in this chat box are, Hillary, this sounds amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on it. How much does it cost? Guys, I am so excited to share with you. The text library is going to be included in every single OpenAsset subscription. So again, every single subscription, you will have access to this text library. So we're super excited to bring this value to you, to continue making your lives easier, to save you time as you're making all the proposals, and to help you win more business. So, whew, that was a lot. I'm super excited. I need to get back to work so I can work with our engineering team and get these to you as soon as I can. So what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Jarina.
Thank you, Hillary. You have your work cut out for you. You saw our AI capabilities. Just go back one slide. You saw our AI capabilities that George showed during the live product tour, and one we're about to launch from Hillary, our AI facial recognition, and our upcoming one that we're working on is our AI visual search. And when we're working on AI, the following values are important to us, including ethics, security, privacy, and scalability for all of our clients. Know that security will always be top of mind for us to ensure that we are protecting your data at all costs. You've heard it from George and Hillary when they're talking about these tools. Everything we mentioned today will be in a closed ecosystem and nothing will be shared outside of OpenAsset for any training purposes. And when it comes to AI at OpenAsset, Our vision that you see here on this slide is to empower AEC marketing and business development teams with actionable AI insights to drive meaningful outcomes. If data is a new oil, how can we supercharge your business decisions to create winning outcomes? So with that, let's get into the Q&A portion because there's a lot to cover here. So note that you can keep continuing to include your questions in the Q&A button, but we will go through our questions live now. And if you would like a customized demo for your firm, please reach out to us at info@openasset.com. All right, let's get into Q&A. Let's get George and Hillary back on the podium.
All right, where to start? There's a lot of questions, and there's a lot of questions that come into the chat. So we're going to try to get to as many of these as possible. Know that we'll be pulling all of these out of this webinar, and if we don't get to your questions, we'll be answering as many as we can in follow-up. As Dorina mentioned, if you have additional questions, want a demo, reach out to info@openasset.com. If you are an existing customer, reach out to your CSM. If you aren't sure who that is, reach out to customer success at openasset.com, and we will get you an answer. We will make sure that we are guiding you forward with any of these features and getting questions answered for you. There's a long one that I saw once I went off my part, asking about how we bring in a large batch of 100+ project photos into OpenAsset and then curate those photos to identify the subset, say any 10 that'd be best for use in marketing materials. I think that, so we have an implementation team here at OpenAsset that works very closely with our existing customers on scoping projects like this. We would work closely with you to make sure that if you have 100 files outside of OpenAsset, you can quickly add them into or upload them via the front end using our uploader, where you can edit the metadata for those files in the uploader, controlling the category that they live in, whether it's your stock images, your employee files, your project files. You can control all of that, and you can set the metadata by file. Is it a rank 1 hero image? Is it a preferred use image? Is it something that's really just there for reference on the project because it was relevant and captured at one point in time during the project lifecycle? There's more to that question. I hope that that is enough of an answer, but the keywords that are tagged at the file level, as well as all keywords tagged at the project level, connect back to the file. So if you are looking for a healthcare, or if you tag a project with healthcare as a keyword, all images uploaded to that project will be presented when searching for the word healthcare in your keywords. So hopefully that helps answer that one. Let me see.
I think one that has multiple of the same questions. Hillary, I think you can definitely take this one. What is the difference between portals and albums?
Yeah, absolutely. So an album is for creating a collection of images that is used internal to OpenAsset. So there's a ton of different things you could be doing for that. Different use cases. You could potentially say, hey, these are my best images that I potentially want to use in proposal X. This is another group of images that are my best images of construction at sunset. You guys know I love my sunset. These are my best construction at sunset photos. But they're really only for internal use, internal to OpenAsset. Portals, on the other hand, are primarily for external usage. So you make your selection of images, then you get your link, and you're able to send those images externally. Now, you can also include that contextual information, that project and file information that George touched on. And of course, you can still send portals internally. You can send portals to whoever you like. They don't need an OpenAsset login or anything like that. But that is really the main difference. Is albums are for internal sharing, generally, or always, and portals are generally for external sharing.
Awesome. Thank you, Hillary. And a lot of people are asking, of course, because you showed it, is text library already available? We're still working on it. It is the next one on Hillary's list, and as well as the AI visual search. So those two things are still in development. So we're still making sure that it is the best experience possible, working with our team as well as some of our customers to test this out for us.
Hillary, a question I see here about text libraries is, can you associate assets with the text library? So could you, let's say, if you have maybe a project description, or sorry, an about us that you used on a certain project, it's a healthcare experience, here's how we approach healthcare work. You want to attach that to your latest healthcare project. Can you connect assets to text assets?
So not in our V1. We are working to get you all this feature as soon as we possibly can. So what that means is we know that we're going to have, we already have many grand plans. We're going to get you V1, V2, V3, V17. So we do have some amazing designs, and we're already thinking about how we'll be able to do that for you. But in our first iteration, no, that is not planned.
Makes sense. I see a question here about tagging photos before bringing them into OpenAsset. It says OpenAsset does not automatically transfer into keywords in OpenAsset. It is true, but if you're embedding metadata in files outside of OpenAsset as tags, when you upload those into OpenAsset, our uploader automatically captures those and puts them into the file description field. The file description field is searchable as a popular field search, which can be which means that in your top search bar, you can just enter in those values, hit enter, runs a popular field search, and you'll get those files back. So we do pull those out. They are not automatically applied to keywords. Let's say you've uploaded, hundreds of files, and you see that data in descriptions. You want it to be keywords, reach out to our support team. We have tools and scripts that can turn file level descriptions separated by commas or semicolons, whatever it is, and turn those into keywords as well. So our support team can assist with that effort if you need it.
Thanks, George. And I'd like to answer this live. Jeanette, hi, Jeanette. Jeanette is asking, are portals, AI description, AI facial recognition, and AI visual search also free with subscriptions, or are there any additional costs to that?
Yeah, so go ahead, sorry.
Go for it, George.
No, sorry, Adrian, I thought you paused. I didn't know if you wanted me to take that. So portals is included, AI descriptions is included, in live AI visual search will be included. AI facial recognition is the only item here that comes as an added cost, and that's because it is associated with our employee module. It does require an employee module subscription to have that facial recognition. One thing that has been really interesting when speaking with clients about this is there are clients out there that are today storing a lot of images, staff headshots and such in OpenAsset, but they are not leveraging our employee module to create resumes. They still have been really excited about this facial recognition and are looking at, once this is live, adding the employee module into the subscription to better manage employee images for compliance reasons, for making sure that you have an improved ability to group together images for employees, find those images. Not mentioned here is we've added a feature into the product where you can search in that top search bar by employee name. And if you have employee module, it will pop up all the images for that employee. So there's better employee photo management workflows tied to employee module that don't always result or don't always require a full template use and all of that. So employee facial recognition is going to be tied to the employee module. But portals, text assets, we're really excited to get those in the hands of our clients to bring more value today. And then when text assets comes live, that'll be there too.
Thank you, George. And another important question, someone asked, what other integrations do we have?
Today, we integrate with, out of the box from our end, Deltek, Uninet, Procore, Templify, for anyone out there using Templify to streamline the brand text related workflows and document workflows, WordPress. And then again, as I mentioned earlier on, we have a number of partners that have built integrations to push data into OpenAsset. And we have a partnership with KA Synthesis, who is a great AEC intranet provider, where you can push images from OpenAsset into Synthesis for more visual experience within your intranet.
And we also have an InDesign plugin as well. So no more broken links. And also we have a REST API. So whatever systems you have, it's definitely customizable to the way that you work. And I think that should be our last question. We are about to hit the hour mark. Thank you all for being here. We're going to look through all of the questions that were asked and make sure that we answer them right away. We'll be reaching out. This is recorded, so we will share this out. And for our clients, please share this out with your team. These are the latest and greatest with OpenAsset. George, Hillary, thank you for being a part of our summer 2024 product tour. We really appreciate it. Thank you all for being here and have a lovely day. Bye, everyone.